Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Or, not Path of Radiance. Radiant Dawn. With me, Pitmarthroy. In the last episode, we got finished Chapter 3. And after meeting up with some other people in that prison, we're heading to the desert. And now that we have freed Anime and Ileana, you now have this area where you can get all of your stuff ready before the actual battles. So this first one conversation thing, it just talks about, it's a Kurth and Makai conversation, and they just talk, Kurth asks why nobody has asked him about himself, and it's because they know that he wants to keep his privacy a secret, and so he thanks them. Now we have merchants, and they explain how the shop works, which we're going to be doing. They explain the forging and other stuff. This one's important though. Well, not really, but if you want the unit. What should we do? Whoever it is doesn't seem to mean us any harm. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Ah! So now we have Meg. You're a girl? I'm sorry! No, wait, please don't run. My name's Makai, don't be afraid. Don't tell her her name, we're on the run. She's not after us. This is my brother's... Well... It's not her brother, but she's making it up. We're from Navasa. And you are? I'm Meg. What are you doing out here on the edge of the desert? I'm looking for someone important, someone close to my heart. All by yourself? Yes. You're meeting someone way out here? I'm not sure. All I know is that this is where he came before he disappeared. I thought maybe he went into the desert. So they ask if she wants to come along. You're all the way from Crimea. I'm surprised you made it this far. Especially since she's a knight, and they're slow. So she's a sword knight, but she is very, very, very bad. Her stat units are based entirely on speed, so I would trade over her swords to Edward immediately, both the steel and the iron one. Swap out Vulnerary so you've got the better one. Okay, so whenever you're managing your units, you need to go to items, for most of it anyway. And so what you're going to want to do here is when you choose somebody, you can choose to trade items, send an item to the convoy, where it will be stored for later. Equip the items. For example, I could equip Light to start the battle instead of Thani. List is just like all the stuff that you have. Give all would be giving all your equipment to one person. Unequip would be to unequip the weapon. And drop would be to just get rid of it. Okay, so, and if you have, for use, if you have items like energy drop that increase strength or whatever, you can give them to specific people. And we are going to give the energy drop to Edward because Soth doesn't really need it. Micaiah and Ileana are focused on magic. I'm probably not going to use Leonardo. Nolan's got pretty good strength right now anyway, and Aaron's got pretty good strength right now. And then Laura's a healer, and we're not going to be using Meg. Alright, so I'm going to put the door key in the convoy because we don't need it. The chest key, the next battle, not this one, but the one after it, will have a chest that you can open up without using Soth. But for now, we're going to put that in the convoy as well because they just use up room for this next battle. And we're going to trade this over to Ileana. I don't know, does Aaron? No, he doesn't need anything. So for the shop, you have the armory, the shop, sell items or forge. Selling items is self-explanatory. The armory is where you can buy your weapons. Obviously, right now, you're just going to have really weak stuff. The shop, you can buy stuff like heal staff, herb, and some other extra stuff. Some of the stuff's actually pretty good. The beast killer's pretty good. The mend is an upgraded staff, so I'm going to buy a mend. And we're going to give that to Laura. Buy the L-Light. The L-Light's pretty good too. We can't use it yet, but it is good. And also buy the Beast Killer for not this battle, but the one after it. The Beast Killer is a very good knife. And Forge, you can make your own special weapon, but I don't have enough money to do that, so we're not going to worry about it. Manage is where you can award bonus EXP to your characters and skills, like the Discipline skill that you guys saw. So, we're going to give the Discipline skill to Aaron. And as you can tell, it says it will allow the unit to easily increase weapon level. So, the more typically you increase your weapon level by doing a certain number of attacks. Now you won't have to do as many. You'll still have to do attacks, just not as many. So here we have the bonus EXP. For this first part, I would recommend giving it all to Micaiah, because after she gets to level 20, she's not going to be able to level up until the end of this part, where you won't see her for a long time. And so if you just go ahead and get her up to the highest point right now, you won't have to worry about it later. Here we have support, and this, as I already mentioned once before, it kind of gives you a little bit of support bonus in attack and hit and all that. Micaiah and Soth already have a relationship that's at A, but to get the relationships started, you need to have those units fight side by side in battle. So we're going to have Edward and Nolan pair up, and Laura. Well, I was going to pair her up with Leonardo, but I can't. Oh well. And then you have save, which is obvious. I would always save before the fight. And now we begin. And yes, this will be a two-part chapter, or two-part video for this. Senses something. There's a presence that calls to me. Everybody be on your guard. The ruins are still standing. They're very old. I wonder who built them. Probably the laguz. What do you think it would be like to change into a bird or dragon? Being part beast is one thing, but being able to transform in that beast with more strength than one could ever imagine. They could build a place like this before breakfast. What surprises me is you've changed. Me? How so? I remember when you used to refer to laguz as subhumans. Now look at you. Well, come on. Bjork are called the children of wisdom, and laguz the children of strength for some reason. Just because our two races differ doesn't mean that we can't get along. The only reason they're against each other is because of ignorance. Whenever he fought with Ike. Here I thought you were saying something enlightened, and here you talking about him again. So, sometimes every other thing you say is like an ode to Ike. I know you fought beside him, I know you owe me your life, all that good stuff, but he's the man who crushed us 3 years ago. Some would call him our archenemy. And Yune flies off. Oh no, it was this level. Never mind. I clearly can't get my levels right. And we have laguz. That's why you bought the Beast Killer. Now, this is, I think, the only chapter in the entire, or the only part in the entire game, part and chapter both, that has two bosses in it. So, we assemble everybody. Now we have preparation, which will let you choose your units. We're not going to be using Meg, but other than that, everybody else is going to be used. You can also tell what type of units they are right now, so that'll be a little bit easier for me to keep track of who's recruited. Now I can just look at their class. Our reposition, if anybody's in a blue square, you can change them around however you want. I'm going to keep Edward here. These three are going to go... No, wait. Yeah, Edward and Micaiah are going to go up. The rest of them are going to go down here and to the left or right. The items where you can choose who's got what equipped. Return to base, the conditions. So, the victory is rout enemy, defeats if Micaiah or Soth dies. Apparently these are two different enemies here. They both fight against you though. Options, save, and fight. So let's fight. Let's not just fight. Let's fight for our friends. Alright, laguz units work a little bit differently. Instead of having regular attack, they transform into beasts like cats or tigers. And that bar at the bottom, this one says 30, this one says 7. That's how much... That's their laguz gauge. When their gauge falls to 0, it gradually falls over each turn. They'll revert back into the demi-human form, and then it will gradually go back up. So it's just kind of a cycle. So whenever you're using those types of units, you need to make sure that you don't put one out in the middle of the field that's going to die next turn because they'll transform back. Oh, it missed. Oh, he got a critical on the first... No, wait, that wasn't his first attack, but it was good. These jars that you see everywhere, these are healing jars. If you stand next to them on the start of your turn, they'll heal you slightly. It's like a heal hedge, except you can't stand on top of it, you gotta stand beside it. I don't want Makai to break the wall, I want that laguz unit to break the wall, so he won't attack me. Because I know that guy breaks the wall down. Now, for the record, I don't normally use Aaron, but for this walkthrough, I'm going to try to do so. And now he's back into demi-human form, so we can easily kill him. As I will demonstrate, once they're in demi-human form, they're extremely easy to kill. 15 times 2 with 100% hit. Like I said, very easy to kill. If you want, you can just wait for their gauge to run all the way down to 0, but we're going to make this go by faster, so... Let's see, he did... I cannot do my math. 9. But it doesn't matter, because we can take him out right now. Got a chest key, that's wonderful. Alright, now, if you haven't noticed, there's no chest on the right except for this one over here. So, we're going to make Soth go left, because there's a chest over here. I always let Nolan go to the right. There's an item somewhere buried in this gold. I don't know where it is, but we'll find it. Check this guy's range so I don't put Ileana in his range. Give him some slight healing. And we'll let Leonardo go to the right as well. Soth can easily take out all the enemies on the left. As for the bosses, they're not going to move. So don't worry about that being a problem. Gotta love those healing jars. Now, since they can't attack and they don't have projectiles, I can abuse the wind edge right here, which is fortunate. Because if you've got a character that doesn't have very high HP, you can just use ranged attacks, because everybody's gonna have a ranged should have a ranged weapon by now. Edward should have wind edge, provided it hasn't broken. Makai will have spells. Aaron's got a javelin. Leonardo's an archer. He's gonna have range no matter what. Same thing with mages, and Nolan should have a hand axe. So everybody should have range. Shoot. Just enough not to be able to kill. Let's see if we can get Nolan not to get a kill. Nope. Oh well. Alright, since I know there's something in here somewhere. Let's go ahead and take him out real fast while he's untransformed. I think that just leaves that one enemy up there in the top left and then the 2 bosses. I know there's something here. Ah, I was gonna try to let Makai kill him, but oh well. Alright, I'll see you guys next time when we take up the second boss. Later.